Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team's currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 109. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have a team dig from Scott Percival and Matthew Belshin. DOSGAMES /arcade/DRM. I seriously doubt this has anything to do with digital rights management. We got a Beyond, EXE, and an HIS, probably a high score file. Well, that's weird. The high score file is like nearly 6 years older than the actual executable. And the 1000 BBS.CMT, I got a funny feeling that's going to be like CMT might stand for comment. So we might be able to type this. Yep. So apparently, back up your system files often. Using the latest version of Scan from McAfee and Associates. Anybody remember McAfee antivirus? Jeez. Okay, so let's just run it. Beyond. Is this just Tetris? What's the about say? Beyond columns. Okay, so we got a columns type clone here then. Written by Brad P. Taylor. Programmers Right, 1989. Programmers Right, not copyright? I don't know what he's getting at there. So we got left and right, which is on cursors. Drop is either spacebar or down. And then we got sound, volume. Wait, volume? That doesn't make sense for PC speaker, unless it's using something other than the PC speaker. Original columns game was invented for the X Windows system by Jay Gearstein of HP. Got my idea from a ported version for the IBM by Nathan Myers. Liked the game so much I wanted to see if I could write my own version. This is my first attempt. There's a boss key feature you can access by pressing as command, passing as a parameter the program you want to run. Oh, so if you push the boss key, it actually runs whatever program you pass as a parameter to it. That's a neat idea. Make it so that the boss key actually runs some other program. The only trouble there is that usually it takes time to load other programs, and the idea of a boss key is to have an instantaneous change, so that if your boss is like glancing over, he sees something that looks like work as opposed to something that looks like a game. But I don't know. This game is one of the few good games that are free. I will be the judge of that. So feel free to give the game to anyone that can run it. Okay, so the guy wasn't charging money for it. So let's see if we can play this. Let's say medium. This seems pretty fast for medium. So I'm going to assume that it's probably... Yeah, even there was sound... Well, yeah, let me slow the cycles down here. Okay, this is probably closer to what it should be. Oh yeah, that looks better. Yeah, it's basically columns. But it's very very different graphically. Because it's got a sort of just different sort of line graphics instead of the kind of graphics I would have expected. So one of the strategies I like to do with columns is sort of just load up one of the sides. This is a very wide columns field. This is a 9 rows or 9 columns wide columns field. Yeah, what I like to do is I kind of like to load it up. Usually I like to do it from the middle instead of from the side like that. Load it up first and then try to make some lines and let fate decide what happens. Also, admittedly, I'm used to playing columns games that actually have certain special features going, but it doesn't seem like the level ever changes. Or maybe it does and I'm just not far enough along to see a change like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure I can say much more about this. It's just a basic columns game. Plays fine. Well, you have to have the right cycles going, right cycle setting going for DOSBox, but yeah, I really don't have much more to say about this one. It's columns, and it plays perfectly fine, and it's free, so I would say, if you can find this particular version, give it a look. Next up, Paul Shears dug up WINGAMES /strategy/MB. I have no idea what this is going to be. The letters MB, it could be anything. We got a file id.diz, we also got a help file. Oh, Mille Bornes by Andre Needham. So, okay, judging by that name, I know exactly what this is going to be. So this is going to be like a Mille Bornes clone then. Mille Bornes is a, I don't know how well-known card game, but it's basically a card game where you're just trying to race to the end in a sense. It's like you're trying to build up like your mileage over the course of a journey or something, and then you also have to deal with like car breakdowns and stuff. It's actually pretty fun. Oh, he's just saying feel free to send money with a $10 minimum suggested amount to register the program, but not necessarily the requirement. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Who are you? I am me. Okay. Does it maximize? Didn't think it would. Not with the card graphics going. So it looks pretty standard so far. I'm just trying to remember what the rules were. Right, I think you have to actually like go first. Well, let me see if there's what has beeps? Well, I guess messages. Well, I guess we turn it on message mode, I guess. I don't know what this means. I'm guessing this is like when something happens, it'll like tell you or something. What are the options? Well, that's neat. You can choose between drag and drop and clicking first and then dropping. Although interesting that it doesn't support both at the same time. And auto sort. I guess it's harmless enough. Okay, so let's actually play this. Let's draw a card before you can play one. Okay. Oh, I think this is, okay. So that's why there's a whole bunch of space here. Because there's actually, like, certain power-ups you can get during a particular run. I think Driving Ace makes it so that I can't actually end up in an accident, so that's neat. So we'll go. And I think the turn ends when you play miles. So I think if I go on your mile pile, like that. So when does my turn end? Oh, I think the computer may have already played a card on me because I'm in a stopped state. That shouldn't have happened otherwise. So I can't really give the computer a flat tire because he isn't going anywhere right now. So we'll just play some more miles. Oh yeah, the computer is playing cards against me because he just played a speed limit card against me. So that means I can't play any mile cards over 50 right now. Which is fine because that's all I have. Yeah, the computer's still not doing anything. I've got a bunch of cards I can't really use, so I guess I'll discard. Oh, it is actually noting when the computer's taking his turn down there. Yeah, so I can't play the 100 mile right now because I've got the speed limit card on me. So I kind of want to screw him over if he manages to get a go card going. I can put the speed limit on him at least. Okay, so see, he's got the go going now, so I can do the flat tire. So he had a spare tire, but now he still needs another go card before he can start moving again. Which is fair enough. We'll give him a flat tire. Again. So yeah, there's the accident card. So he can't play accident cards against me because I have the Driving Ace up there. But I also can't go faster than 100 right now. Faster than 50 right now, so... Ooh, I got the puncture-proof card. So yeah, these particular cards here don't take a turn to play, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh yeah, I don't need any repair cards because I'm never going to get into an accident. Not as a driving ace. Okay, so this actually plays pretty faithfully to the original card game. Almost to the point where it's almost like a total blatant copy of it. Because it kind of is. And he's even calling it Mille Bornes. Because, like, I mean, that's what I think the actual card game is called, is Mille Bornes. So, I'm not sure about the legality of that. But, like, I mean, it's playing fine. There's the extra tank of gas. I've got, like, almost all 4 of the power-ups. The only one I'm missing is the, what is it? I don't actually remember at the moment. There is a 4th one, I know that. I need to get rid of this speed limit. There's an end of limit card, finally. Let's go 200. Another 200. Do I want to extend the game to a oh yeah, so I think it's, I think normally, okay, the way the scoring works is you're actually doing multiple trips, and at the end, once a trip is over, everybody adds up their scores for their current trip, and I think it's once someone hits 700 or 1,000, like whoever hits 700 first gets to decide if they want to extend it to 1,000 based on how the game's going. There's only 9 cards left in the deck, and I don't have enough to hit 1,000, like, immediately, but then he's not going to get much further either. But I think you actually get a bonus if you get a perfect game, like, prevent anyone else from getting anywhere. So I'm going to say no. Oh wow, there's actually like a full scoring sheet here. So played 700, I got an extra 100 for each safety out of the 4 safeties. Trip completed, shutout, 500 extra points. So yeah, if I went for the extension, yeah, I'd get an extra 300 for the miles played, and then an extra 200 for taking the extension. And then I wouldn't get the shutout, but then he would have gotten some more points, probably. So yeah, so it's keeping the total and grand total going. So yeah, this is playing exactly as I would expect it to. Haha, you're out of gas. Oh, he had some gas in his. Well, guess what? You're out of gas again. Haha. And you got a speed limit now. Oh, that's what it is. Right of way. So right of way not only makes it so that you're always in a go state, but that you can't have a speed limit put on you. So the moment you, like, fix a problem, you immediately have a go state. You don't have to use go cards anymore. Right, and that's the other thing I remember too, is you can't go over the mileage you have to hit. So you have to hit 700 exactly. Or if you get the extension, you have to hit 1,000 exactly. So yeah, this actually plays, it just plays perfectly fine. So $10, definitely worth $10. I don't know if the owner, the copyright holder for Mille Bornes, I forget which company owns it right now, would be on board with the fact that this is like a blatant ripoff of their card game. But it plays exactly as I would expect it to, so I don't know. And our last dig for today comes from Dick DeYoung, DOSGAMES /arcade /ANACREON. I don't think I've ever heard of a game with this name before. ANACREON. That is a very freaking large text file. That's like 60 kilobytes for the text file there. And 5 kilobytes for the README. Oh boy. This looks like it might be complicated. Or maybe not. Maybe the text file is just totally useless. TMA presents Too Many Associates? ANACREON. Reconstruction 4021, copyright 1987 by Thinking Machine Associates. Is there mouse control? There is not. So we can choose between monocolor, new player empire, sequential play. About ANACREON. ANACREON started out in 1980 as a small 8K basic program on an OSI Challenger 4P. Today, 8 years later, so 1988, it's written in Turbo Pascal, takes up 512K of memory, and is still being improved. Along the way, the following people have suffered through countless bugs. And I got a list of probably the different people who've tested the game. So there's also a DOS shell, print map. I got a funny feeling this is going to be something similar to like VGA Planets, I don't know what this is doing in the arcade folder, but let's find out. File name of old game, don't have one. Oh, new game. So select a scenario. This one? So, you got some story here from the looks of it. How many players? 1. Name of player empire number 1. Diggerland? I don't know. You male or female? I am male. Password? 1. Please type in your password again. 1. Please wait while the universe is created. I turned the cycles count down ahead of time because of the file dates. But I got a funny feeling this might take a moment because of the lower cycles count. Let's try fast forward. Okay, so I guess it's done that. So load game. File name. I don't. What? Okay, here we go. Greetings, my liege. I hope your sleep was pleasant and peaceful. So Diggerland Empire Status Report. In the year of our Lord 4021, the Empire of Diggerland consists of one world, with a total population of 24.51 billion people. The average industrial production is 553, and the average efficiency of all the worlds is 85%. None of the potential technologies or of the biotech level have been developed. Military force of the Empire consists of the following: 417 fighter squadrons, 58 hunter killers, 221 jump ships, 169 jump transports, 23 penetrators, the good kind, no starships despite all of those other things, and 283 transports. So I got a funny feeling this is going to play a lot like those resource management type games where it's all about the numbers. Oh, and it's even giving me a time limit. This almost feels like it was a... Yeah, this kind of feels like it was meant to be BBS software. Just from the fact that it's giving me like a time limit, which is paused at the moment. Oh no, it's still going when I've got the menus open, it's just not showing it. So, let's see a close-up of the world. Well, I need to know what I've got in my fleet. Simulation, SRM sweep, probe. This is not the full version of the software from the looks of it. So you want to purchase a full program, you have to write to whatever TMA is. Well, it's interesting that it doesn't show the actual cost of the program. I'm going to go quickly take a look at the README file, see how much this software cost. I got a feeling that if this is software intended to be run on bulletin board systems for anyone to play, this might not be cheap. Oh, I did find in the text file, though, that this was created by a George Moromisato? George Moromisato. I'll put his name on the screen so you can see how it's spelled, because it's a tricky one. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. So, the purchase price of this game is $49.95. Yeah, this was definitely intended to be run on, like, networks and bulletin board systems and stuff. It'd be nice if I could actually pull up some info here. Aside from just seeing, like, this blank screen here. Apparently if I hit F1... Okay, there's a help screen here. Okay, so it's basically all the F keys give you all the status information, and the menu is for when you actually want to do stuff. Oh, and there's a galaxy map. So, there we go. Now we're starting to see some stuff. So I'm guessing that C might be where my planet is or something? Maybe? So I have a planet at 00, apparently. No fleets deployed. No news. There's our empire. And there's a star map. So if I say close up on 0,0, there we go. We're seeing some information now. So it's an Earth-like class planet with type capital. Does biotech for stuff. Huh. It also has a ninja rating of 0, so we don't have any ninjas, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to figure out, like... Okay, so there is something at 5-5, wherever that is. Again, this map doesn't seem to really be helping much, because if we're at 0-0, then where the heck is 0-0? And why don't we see anything there? But apparently there is something at 5-5. So, let's see here. Fleet, probe, 5-5. Probe launched 5-5. Okay. So... can't do new construction sites or anything like that, so if we go next turn... So apparently we've mastered the technology of ambrosia now. Our efficiency went up. And let's see if we have any info on 5-5. Okay, we actually do. So it's a Class M independent world with primitive technology and a population of 140 million. So, do we want to take it over? I think we should try to take it over. So deploy. What name shall we use for this fleet? Take over. Where shall we deploy the fleet from? Deploy it from home. What shall its destination be? Take over, ready to be deployed from star system at 0-0. Each transport can carry 5 legions, so 50 legions. I think we need more than that. There we go. So it actually shows a little arrow there to indicate that stuff is happening, I guess. Oh. Apparently our fleet is still very much in transit. Okay, I've actually been recording here for almost 20 minutes on just this one game. I think it's time we just put to rest the fact that this is definitely really complex, whatever this program is. This is not an arcade game, this is a strategy game through and through. But this was clearly designed for a multi-user environment, just because of the fact that it's got time limits and you can send messages and such. And it's really expensive software designed to be run probably from a single station, like have multiple copies running from a single system. Like I don't know the specifics on how bulletin board software did its stuff in terms of like multiple connections to multiple users and such, but this definitely feels like it would be something that you would find on a BBS. Or maybe not. I don't know. But in any case, is it worth $50 is the question. And because it's a strategy game, I don't have an answer to that. It gets old. Like this was from what did it say? I got the text file open still. This is from 1988. So there would not be a lot of games like this at that point in time. So it'd probably be very, very interesting experience for people who wanted this kind of strategy game with like this kind of like warring space fleets and stuff. But this is absolutely not my kind of game, so I really don't know if $50 would have been worth something like this or not. At least, yeah, even regardless of the time period, like mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I don't know. So I'll leave that up to you guys to decide.